Hi mommies, thank you for joining me today. This video is going to be about how I keep track of our monthly expenses, and this isn't a video on how I keep track of our daily expenses. That would be for a different video. I'm just going to show you how I set up my planner for the beginning of the month, and also kind of talk to you about how I do the end of the month, like tallying of all our expenses for the month. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so this is my planner. It is a Plum paper planner, and I've had it since January, and I've used this for anything from day to day and budgeting and keeping track of my son's school schedules, but all that is about to change as I am looking at different ways to keep track of, his school stuff. So let's go ahead and take you to the month of August. Okay, so here is like a month at a glance for the month of August, and the numbers in here are just made up numbers. I wasn't going to put our actual bills on here, but looking at the monthly spread, I have paydays listed, and again, these are fictional. So as you can see, I have 3 paydays here and bills numbered. So bill number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And my whole thought process of this was I just wanted, a monthly spread to where I can quickly look at when bills are due in between, pay periods or paychecks. So that way I know how to budget for, weeks coming up. So let's take you to the first week of August. And keep in mind, I don't write anything else on the month on a glance unless we're going, on a vacation or out of town or something that I need to remember to include in our budgeting. But the month at a glance is mainly for my budgeting stuff. Okay, so now that you know how I kind of set up the month at a glance portion of this planner, I'll go ahead and take you to the notes section of the month of August. Okay, so these, for the Plum paper planner, if you're interested in purchasing one, it doesn't come with, the bill section automatically. It's something you have to add on at checkout. But the good thing about, adding on the bill section is that it comes with, a double printed page full of, a bill checklist, I would say. So you have one page here, and you flip it over, and you have another page here before the next month starts. Okay, so this is how I utilize the notes section at the end of August. So you'll notice here that I kind of have different, categories pertaining to different expenses. And this is the way I like to keep track. I like to keep them on 2 separate pages, but like on the same, flip area of the book, I guess you would say. I like to keep them there just because I don't like to be flipping back and forth through different pages. So let's go ahead and take you on to the notes section here. And you'll notice here that I have income 1 and income 2. Income 1 is my husband's income. And I left several lines open just because I'll fill it in later. So that'll be my husband's income. And then at the end of the month, I'll just write a total of how much he got paid. So that's the first section there. And then income number 2 is my income. So anything I get paid would be totaled here, and then a combined amount here. Okay, and then moving down, I have a grocery section. So each week that we purchase groceries, I'll write the amount here, and so on and so on. And then at the end of the month, I will kind of just do a running tally and total it up here. Same with gas. I make purchases at the beginning of the week for gas and for grocery. So I'll do the same thing here. So I'll do a tally of weeks 1 through 5 here. And then any out-of-town trips that we have, the gas mileage, or not the gas mileage, but the gas prices that we use for those out-of-town trips would be tallied here. and so on and so on. And home expenses could be anything from like laundry detergent to dish towels to anything that you use at home would be categorized into the home section. And I found it really hard to kind of separate the items. Say you go to Target or Walmart or wherever you shop, and to separate those items from your home items, I just found it really difficult to, go through a receipt and separate different items. And so I figured I would just throw them all into one category at once. I do keep track of my receipts, so I'll get a tally from here. And then entertainment and dining, that's anything from like a bowling trip to dinner at Olive Garden. Anything from there will be tallied into this section. And so vehicle maintenance would go here, and big purchases. Recently, we haven't made any big purchases, but in case we do, I always like to, keep that here because sometimes it's used for tax purposes. So I'll keep the tally here, and then gifts, monetary gifts we'll use here, or any donations that we do. And sinking funds, I count those into our expenses. So sinking funds are just funds that we set aside, almost like a savings account that we keep at home. So we have different cash envelopes for those sinking funds. And as you can see, we are planning a vow renewal for our 10th year wedding anniversary coming up in 2 years. So I like to, I'm saving for that because I just don't want it to be a big surprise when the time comes. So we have a sinking fund envelope for that. We have one for vacation. And right now this one's at a zero balance just because we did just get back from vacation. So that's going to be starting back up. And then medical, so that's anything from like co-pays or anything that we do that we have to pay for at, let's see here, at different office visits. And then a Christmas fund. I like to start saving for Christmas starting in January because Christmas can be expensive. So I like to keep a fund for that. And then cash on hand. My husband likes to keep cash on hand just for any, emergencies. So those are our sinking funds. Now moving to the My Bills portion of the planner. So obviously we have more than 5 bills, but like I said, again, this is fictional. These are fictional numbers. So I just, so here at the beginning of the month, I will list out the different types of bills we have. And as you can see here, there's bills 1 through 5. And then the due dates, depending on when they're due, and the amounts. And on the notes section, I usually like to write the confirmation numbers. Okay, now moving on to the bottom portion of the My Bills section. So I have a snowball section here that I like to keep for any debt that we have, and right now we're working on paying off our debt. So I'll list the types of, or the names of the debt we have here, and when we'd like to get them paid off by, and the amount of debt that we're in. And then any notes. So like say you paid off, you paid off a debt here, you would just write paid off, confirmation number, or if they'll mail you anything or email you anything, and then that's simply done. And so that when the next month rolls around, you don't have to add on that snowball, and it kind of just keeps going and going and going until you're all finished paying off the snowball. Or I'm sorry, until you're all finished paying off debt. Okay, so when all of this is filled in and the end of August comes around, say August 31st comes around, so I'll sit down and go through all of these numbers, and I'll add up each category, and then add up the bills, and then get an actual amount of how much we spent on bills all the way down to the penny. And that's just how my brain works. I won't round up or round down. I'm always down to the penny. And then what debt we paid off. Okay, so when all of that is completed, I like to come back over, and this is my last and final step for the end of the month. I like to slap on a big post-it on this side, and I call this the big picture. And basically what this is is a just a big overview of what I spent, where I spent, and like the ending total, if we were in the positive or the negative range. So we'll get to that in a minute, but let's start up here. So I'll plug in the total, the exact total that we spent on bills, grocery, gas, and all the way down to sinking funds. So that's what I'll do, and then I'll kind of just write the total off to the side. And then down here in total incoming, that's the combined amount from my husband and I's income. And the income that I had shown before, it was just from what we get paid from our regular jobs. So that doesn't include any other income. So I'll plug in that total here, the combined amount here, and then I will come over, and the total that I got from this section up here, I will put down here. And for the final amount, I'll subtract the total outgoing from the total incoming. And depending on that amount, if it's, plus or minus the incoming, I will put that here. And if we are in the negative range, that means you're spending more than you're bringing in. So you always want to be in the positive range. And this doesn't take into account what we put into savings, and we're constantly putting into savings. So this is just, our expenses, some fixed expenses and some variable expenses. So the ending total here, you always want to be in the positive range, like I said before. Okay, so this is pretty much how I keep track of our expenses in our household, and your expenses will be different from mine, and it differs in every household. I've only implemented this system since November of last year, and it's carried on to August of this year. And in the beginning, there were a few kinks that I had to work out, but overall, I'll continue to use the system until I find something better. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Keep a lookout for another upcoming financial video, and that one will most likely be of a more like background story as to how I get these numbers, how I do my daily expenses, and how I keep track of all of that. So please hit the subscribe button and you'll be notified when that video is uploaded. So again, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.